Hey guys, it's Shalena with Shalena Speaks, and I just want to see how you guys are doing out there today. How is everybody doing? How's your mental? How's your body? How's your spirit? All those things have to be in line. But today I want to really get into a very serious topic, and I want to talk about Marcellus Williams. Marcellus Williams is set to be executed in Missouri despite prosecutors' objections and innocent claims. So there's actually no DNA in this case for Marcellus Williams, and it's absolutely unjust. It's absolutely unjust in my personal material, in my personal opinion. I'm sorry. Missouri is slated to execute a man on death row on Tuesday, despite objections from prosecutors who have suggested he was wrongfully convicted. Marcellus Khalif Williams, 55, is due to be killed by lethal injection even after the Office of St. Louis County Prosecution's Attorney, which originally convicted him, sought to have his case overturned. Prosecutors have raised concerns about the lack of DNA evidence linking Williams to a 1998 killing of Leisha Gale and have said that Williams did not get a fair trial. And oftentimes, this happens where you don't get a fair trial because there's of just lack of evidence. You know what I mean? And everybody is so set to just sign, seal, and deliver a person's execution without having adequate information or adequate evidence. And in trial is supposed to be about the man or a man or a person is supposed to be innocent until proven guilty. But then when you look at the fact that the evidence, that there is no DNA evidence linking him, it's insane. It's insane to me. And I feel like we as a people not only should shine positions and things of that nature, but we need to do better. We need to do better when things like this happen. So I'm just gonna get back into the article because I'm reading the article from The Guardian in case you guys didn't know. I'm reading the article from The Guardian and they're talking about Marcellus Williams. So let's just get back into it. So it says, although the prosecuting office and victim's family backed an agreement to have Williams avoid the death penalty, Missouri's Republican Attorney General Andrew Bailey has fought to allow the execution to proceed. The public doesn't want this execution to move forward. The victim's family doesn't want this execution to move forward. And the St. Louis County of Prosecuting Attorney's Office doesn't want this execution to move forward, said Jonathan Potts, one of Williams' attorneys, in an interview said on Monday. The Attorney General's office, who had nothing to do with this whatsoever, are the ones who are trying to lead him to the death chamber. It's pretty startling and extraordinary, Potts said. Williams, who has long maintained his innocence, was convicted of first-degree murder of Gale, a social worker and former reporter for the St. Louis Post-Dispatch. Williams was accused of breaking into Gale's home and stabbing her to death and stealing several of her belongings, but no forensic evidence connected Williams to the knife or the scene. Williams, who serves as an don't get mad at me because I messed up this word, okay? Williams, who serves as the Indian in his prison and has dedicated his time to poetry, twice has had his executed halted at the last minute. He is now days away from his execution, to be exact. He was days away from his execution, to be exact, in January 2015. And the Missouri State Supreme Court granted the attorneys more time for DNA testing. In 2017, Eric, the Republican governor at the time, granted reprieve hours before scheduling the execution, citing the DNA testing on the knife, which showed no trace of Williams' DNA. So this is a very complex case, as you can see. And we have people outside of the courts rioting. We have people outside of the jails protesting. I'm not going to say rioting, I'm going to say protesting. Outside protesting because there is no DNA to link Williams to this weapon or to this incident that happened. So in January, Wesley Bell, the Democratic prosecution attorney for St. Louis, who championed criminal justice reforms, filed a motion to overturn Williams' conviction. Bell cited repeating DNA testing finding that Williams' fingerprints were not on the knife. Miss Gale's murderer left behind a considerable physical amount of evidence. None of that physical evidence has been tied to Mr. Williams, his office wrote, adding that the new evidence suggests that Mr. Williams is actually innocent. He also inserted Williams' counsel at the time was ineffective, and his predecessors in the St. Louis prosecution's office had improperly removed Black jurors from serving on the trial. Do you hear this? Now, see, this is where I get out of body a little bit, because it seems a little crooked here. It seems a little crooked, and I'm just not feeling it. I'm just not feeling it. I'm not feeling it. I'm not feeling it. They removed Black jurors from the trial. So how do you guys feel about this case thus far? After you heard what you've heard, if you would like to go and read this article, The Guardian has put out this article today, so you guys can go and check out the full article. I'm not going to read all of their stuff, but I just really wanted to touch on this topic and how DNA can, they say it can make or break a case, but in this case, there is no DNA linking Mr. Marcellus Williams to this murder. There's no DNA linking him. And you know what? It kind of reminds me of the Tory Lanez case, where his DNA was not found on that gun. And at the end of the day, it kind of makes you question the justice system and everything that we're supposed to stand for. Like, if there is no DNA linking that person to that situation, how is this person in fact convicted of murder? And if there was other DNA around, how in fact they are not trying to figure out who did that DNA belong to? I say justice for Marcellus Williams. And until next time, peace.